Hello YouTube, I'm Michael Morgan. This is Retro Reviews. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 80s comedy classic, The Great Outdoors. Before I get into the review, as always, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button on this video, and share this video. Okay, before I proceed further into the review, there will be some spoilers ahead. Just to let you know, you've been forewarned. Now, one of the great things about growing up in the 1980s was just the treasure trove of comedies that we had throughout the decade from start to finish. And I wouldn't be able to name them all in one video, but you have movies such as Stripes, Airplane. The first Naked Gun came out in 1988. You had the National Lampoon's Vacation movies, Uncle Buck, and The Great Outdoors, which was released in 1988. Ranks among one of my favorites of this time period. As features two comedy titans of the decade, John Candy and Dan Aykroyd at their peak. In a story that is written by John Hughes, who also helped shape the decade of the 80s with movies such as Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I mean, this is just, this is just the ingredients for a fantastic comedy stew, which, The Great Outdoors is. This is just one of those movies. Every time that I've watched it, growing up, I still laugh at the same parts the same way I did when I first watched it. The Great Outdoors starts off with John Candy's character Chet Ripley. He's taking his wife and his sons up to the woods. They're going to stay, in a cabin for a week, just to have some family bonding time. As Chet's sons, they're teenagers or probably close to being teenagers. He's wanting to carry on the family tradition, as it's revealed that Chet and his dad used to come up to those same woods when Chet was growing up, and he wants to make those memories with his son. And then, they no sooner get checked in and try to get settled in when there's an uninvited, unannounced guest that shows up in the form of Roman Craig, portrayed by Dan Aykroyd and his family. And what follows next is just a week of just comedy gold. I mean, there's a slapstick comedy, there's a physical comedy, you have sight comedy in here, you have this takes place in the woods, so you also have there's comedy that involves animals as well, the animals themselves and the animals interacting with the people. And then just underneath all of the comedy, there's just a tension that is building throughout the movie, as because you just have this clash of personalities, which Candy and Aykroyd just pull off magnificently. I mean, you have Candy is he's a working class dad. I mean, he's a very humble man. He's a very simple man, but he's pitted against Aykroyd's, very greedy, heartless businessman. And too, in Roman's success, that comes at the cost that he doesn't spend much time with his twin daughters. He doesn't spend much time at home. He's out looking for that next big investment, to buy that next Mercedes, get that promotion, and just throughout all of the comic misadventures throughout the movie. I mean, this just results in a large family conflict toward the end of the movie, where it's revealed what Roman's actual intentions were, to come up to the woods, to spend time with Chet, and just there's just a family disagreement, but there's a crisis that involves Roman's twin daughters, who they wander off into the woods, and they get stuck in this mine. And it's just it is at the same time hilarious, and it's also very heartfelt, because you have Chet, who is trying to help Roman, and he teaches Roman a lesson, the importance of being a dad, and being there for your kids, because, you know, to Chet, nothing is more important, you know, than his family. Too, and you know, and throughout this, Chet helps, you know, he helps Roman prioritize his life, and I mean, this is just a fantastic movie. I mean, this is just, I mean, it's a comedy, but it has a heart of gold as well. And and this is one of my favorite movies of the decade. This came out in 1988, and I highly encourage you to get a copy of The Great Outdoors. I thank you for watching today.